How are you all doing?
What's up, you fucking cunt?
Oh my God, every time. So Ellen asked me to, both of us to come out here and film people going crazy and crowd reaction.
Could I be in the crowd?
Barbara immediately stuck her face in front of the camera.
Also, there's
I
no
thought
lights
it was
on
for
that.
after.
Thank you for ruining the sorry, Alan. Barbara ruined it. Way to go, Barbara.
My bad. Let's do that again. Pretend we just came out.
Well, I turned the camera off. I had turned the camera off. God damn it, Barbara.
I feel like this might be the first time we've ever done a podcast for a bunch of people who are standing up. Not you guys. You guys are lazy as fuck down here. That's our style. We like that. Cool. All right. Well, I think this is my last panel for
Mine too,
RTX
yeah.
Sydney. Do you have a signing after this?
No, but I might run out on the floor and say hello to people.
That's a good way to do it.
So we are missing one Gavin.
Fuck that guy.
Have you all seen Gavin? Have you found him? Do you know where he is? He's on his way?
Oh, I think 'cause I just saw someone waving that he's coming.
How do you know that and I don't know that? So, what are you doing?
So if I sit, I guess...
You're making me nervous.
I'm working the crowd.
You're working the crowd?
Hey, good to see you. Where are you from?
From Perth.
He's from Perth. Look at you, good for you.
Don't
Got out of
boo.
Perth. That's great. Made it all the way over to Sydney.
I like that.
He's wearing a Touch My Awesome Button shirt, which I haven't seen probably. How long have you owned that shirt?
I don't even remember. It's so long.
So long? You admit it, we just finally shipped it to Perth last week. Is that the way it worked? It took 20 years.
I like that working the crowd for you means insulting the crowd.
Yeah. I made it. Look who it is. Lovely Gavin.
You made it.
Woo. Well, I think out of all the times we've come down to Australia, the one thing that we've learned is the regional hatred that this country has for other parts of this country.
I think every panel I've been on this show has had someone from Melbourne trying to convince me that Melbourne's better than Sydney. I did not make that claim. I'm repeating what I've been told.
I would imagine, though, that Melbourne is maybe a touch less humid than Sydney is.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't imagine a more humid and hot place than this.
Yeah.
You absolute bitch.
It's the last panel.
I didn't even want the beer. I just wanted to hit your beer.
I'm going to fall off the stage here. I have a strong feeling I'm going to. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast panel.
I feel like we're there's your drink right there.
Gus, go with the theme song. Thank you,
Introduce
Marcy.
yourself.
I'm Gus.
Hey, Marcy, do we have a coin we can
Gavin.
give the gentleman in the Touch My Awesome Button shirt?
Burnie, we're trying to introduce ourselves.
Oh, sorry.
Piece of shit.
I'm out. I'm good. Go ahead.
I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Barbara.
I'm Burnie.
And I'm Gus.
Hey.
There you go. That's the way it normally goes. Welcome back to the stage and the light.
What's that?
Welcome back to the stage and the light.
Yeah. Can you guys hear us okay? Good? We're in one of those weird things where I can hear them perfectly and I can't hear you at all.
Listen to that speaker.
Oh, because it's pointing away from us.
Right. It's pointed away.
Or you just suck at projecting. One
I
of the
even
two.
asked Gus right before this panel. I was like, "How is the audio on the stage? Could you hear each other okay?" And he's like, "Yeah. It's fine."
I did one panel here before and it was fine.
What'd
We
you
just used
do?
our voices.
Here's what was it Here's and Halfwits? Yeah, it was Here's and Halfwits.
Oh, you guys did that here?
Yeah.
Oh, so that got the big panel, but Ruby didn't? Okay.
Well, I don't. So is this the big stage or is the other one the big stage? At least the other one has seats. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone over there has to stand up for a whole podcast?
Let's make
Sorry.
let's make
Hey,
the
look,
longest
Psycho,
podcast.
It sucks.
I love that the guy's
you
upset
can't.
at being in a voluntary panel. I love that. He's just pissed off. Although we do have Gus running the podcast, so you know it will end on time. It'll end at exactly the minute it's supposed to end.
You know it will.
It's not like this is off topic or anything like that.
You also know it's not off topic because we start on time. I get so annoyed every
Wow.
time, every
Shots
Friday
fired.
before Off Topic starts at like 12:01, they're not live. I'm like, motherfuckers. It's like 12:05, 12:06, then they finally go live. If you say you're going live at noon, go live at noon.
Well, it's crazy because for the podcast, like we usually show up half an hour early, have some pizza, have a little chat, and then like get going. But off topic, I see Michael run in the door at 11:59 with 59 seconds left.
Literally running in. So
Hey,
you're just
hey.
gonna walk by, Greg? That's what you're gonna do? Or you just walk by?
Coach was gone. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You're done here.
Maybe if we were a famous game developer, you'd come up here and kiss our ass, but I guess you're just gonna walk by.
Not even an acknowledgement.
He's not coming back, he's gone. He's committed to the joke. I love it. Yeah, so how did I was out of town. I had left, I had to leave Austin on Monday because I had to be here early. I had to be here on Wednesday to do some preparation for Immersion and the shoot that we did today. Did anybody participate in any of the productions that we did? Hey, thank you very much. I had a blast. Guys, I would tell you to stand up, but this gentleman can't stand up because he cut his leg wide open on a production today. How many stitches did you get, Liam?
12 stitches.
12 stitches.
God.
It was gross. Josh actually had a photo of the cut and decided
Show
the
it?
best moment to show it to all of us was while we were eating lunch today.
So
So-
instead of getting help, Josh was getting his phone out and taking photos.
Well, I mean, it was like, I think you were on your way to go get help, right? Like, he wasn't just taking pictures of you while you're lying on the ground unconscious. 10 minutes later, okay.
And you still were cut open and bleeding?
Well, what do you think? It's going to heal itself?
Then someone would have applied a bandage to it by then.
Yeah, but you got to take it off to see the picture. That's
Well,
why.
it's like open.
What's Josh going to do in a crisis, too? What's he going to stitch him up?
He could do anything other than take a fucking photo.
Get out of the way, basically?
Right.
Yeah, no,
Stick his beard hair in there to soak up the blood.
that's not going to happen.
Oh.
So Gavin almost died on the Immersion shoot, but really Kovic's the one we almost lost because we did an Immersion where, you know that scene in the game Last of Us where the main character gets his foot caught in a snare and he's upside down and he's shooting at zombies upside down? So that's the Immersion that we shot here in Australia. But it turns out hanging people upside down, not really that good for them.
I looked it up, and typically you'll die within a day of a brain hemorrhage, and apparently your heart is bad at pumping blood back upwards if your heart is lower than the rest of you. And from my experience, if you're upside down for about 10 minutes, all of the blood vessels in your head start bursting one by one.
Yep. James Willems has that. He has almost like a little raccoon mask of broken blood
It
vessels.
looks like he aged about 30 years.
Don't tell him
because of
that. Don't
shoot.
say that. I was actually worried they were going to show up the next day, and instead of those little red broken blood vessels, I was worried they were going to have like big bruising, you know, like they were going to have like dark circles all around their eyes.
Then he could blame it on immersion.
Yeah, exactly right. And not Elise just hammering on him when he got back to the hotel room.
Now,
He's feisty.
Immersion does it because it loves them.
What?
Anyway,
I really can't hear you. This is going to be awful, guys. Oh, Immersion does it because, yeah. We love James Willems on it.
Abuse jokes.
I was afraid that I was going to get asked to have to hang upside down. I was really relieved that I was not involved with that.
You wouldn't want to do it?
I would not have wanted to do that.
Not even for a little bit?
I would
I
have
don't
done it,
know.
but I feel like my boobs would have been at my neck.
Oh, that's an issue.
I wish you'd have brought that up earlier. We definitely would have had you do it then. That would have been funny.
Just getting choked by my own tits.
It's like a different game. It's like a different subculture.
It's a good way to die, though.
Honestly, though, Barb, that would not have happened because when I had to do it as a test, everybody wanted to do it, or we wanted as many people to do as possible to test the safety of it. They put this harness on you, and you're like, it's almost like a life jacket, like it's that tight. And you're like, oh, that's pretty tight. But then they get out like this ratchet, and they just crank it. I couldn't take a full breath while in this harness thing, and it was a full body harness, so everything would have stayed perfectly in place. In fact, you would have just been kind of mushed up a little bit.
Finally. The way I've always
the
wanted to be.
So how was your guys' trip down? Did you have a good trip down?
It's
How was
good.
wait. I was going to say, I left early. How was the early podcast?
It was really
It's weird.
weird.
Was it weird?
I felt out of sync. I messed up the intro.
He messed up his own name in the intro.
What'd you call yourself?
Gliblet?
I think he called himself Duh.
It was I don't know. I felt
I think
like,
it's because John Reisinger was there. I don't think it's because of the time.
I really like the new time.
yeah, I was able to go home and relax, but I think the new start time just snuck up on us. Like we were sitting there, and it was like, oh shit, yeah, we're going now.
So what time was the podcast normally on over here if you watched it live?
12:30 in the morning? 11:30 in the morning. Now what is it, like 8 in the morning?
9?
9?
9:45 a.m. right
We-
there.
There is no 45 in the
Yeah.
time that we do the podcast. I don't
Are
know
you
where
in the
that came
Perth
from.
time zone? Yeah, 45. Sydney. So obviously he watches the pre-show, Barbara. He's a
Okay.
big pre-show fan.
Right. Forgot about that.
So then we'll say 10.
Can I say something about the pre-show? That started how long ago?
Couple years?
2 years?
Pretty much, no, like right when we started.
Yeah.
Right when we started doing the podcast
The old
live.
annex,
I
right?
feel like it reached like a new level with Nick and all those guys, though.
Yeah, they realize that they're embracing the attention now.
We got to put an end to that. We got to get rid of those guys, right? It's
No,
yeah, no,
they're
we got to give them the boot. All of them, like all the pre-show guys. I don't like it. I don't like the pre-show.
Why did you like it?
I don't know, because they're getting more popular than we are, I think. I think people like them better than they like us.
Well,
Yeah,
there
people
was
are,
a-
people are excited to see them and want to interact with them.
Yeah, what are they doing in
I
the
remember
fucking
you
thing?
kept making fun of, I think it was Michael, because we hired Michael and he was like a good looking guy. I remember you kept going, stupid pretty boy Michael, putting his face all over the stream,
Get the fuck out of here.
winking at people.
Well, that was Blaine. I fired Blaine the first day he came to work for us because he was too good looking to work at the company. I remember I walked in, Blaine had a headset on. It was when we were in the old studio, and I walked past him, and I looked at him, and I stopped, and I put my bag down, and I walked back to him, and I made everybody in the studio stop. And I put my finger over Blaine's head, and I was pointing at him, and I said, "Who is this? Who is this person right here?" And Patrick, the podcast manager, he goes, "Oh, that's Blaine. He's our new intern." And I looked at him, and I go, "Hey, kid, you're too good looking to work at this company. You're not going to fucking make it."
What are you saying about all of us?
What's that?
You know what that means.
So
You know
we're
what
not
that
good
means?
looking?
You're fine. You're fine. He's got to compete with us, not with you.
Who hired him?
What's that?
Who hired him?
I don't know. I like
Brandon,
Blaine
I
now.
think.
He's turned the corner for me.
So who was the original good-looking person at the company?
Yay.
Like back when you first started?
Hey, Gus was actually the face of the company for a long period of time. Because Gus was the only person who had appeared on screen. So like the first 3 or 4 years of the company, we had nothing but red versus blue, not even shorts. So really the one thing that people had to identify the faces of the company was the Apple Switch ad, and that was Gus.
The best experience with that was, I don't know why, but you and I were at a Best Buy electronics store in San Marcos, I think.
Yeah.
And we needed to buy a hard drive or something for Red versus Blue, and we walked in there, and this must have been, like season 3, maybe. And we're in the Best Buy, and we're trying to find a hard drive, and the employee walks up to us and recognizes me because of the Switch ad. He's like, "Oh my God, you're Gus, you do Red versus Blue." I was like,
I
"Yeah,
love
yeah,
Red versus
yeah."
Blue.
And he's like talking and gushing over it. And I'm like, "Well, here, this is Burnie. Like, he's church, and he writes it and directs it." The guy's like, "Yeah, anyway, Gus."
Literally, the guy could not have cared any less.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, good for you. So Gus.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, anyway, fuck off.
Yeah.
Go, let's back to Gus.
And it was like that for a while. Like I'm trying to think of we take it for granted now, but when was the first time we actually appeared on camera where people would even be able to?
It might have been some of the like the Halo 2 documentary stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, for me, it was a lot of BTS stuff that I used to watch, and the DVD stuff. Like, they were both on the DVD.
Well, they were on the DVD for that one recording, right? Yeah. And I mean, we were on there in the commentary, but we didn't have any live action.
No, there was some stuff from festivals and things. Like, you made like at the Lincoln Center screening or something, you made a video and put it up. There was a lot of like the occasional odd video.
What would I have shot that on? Like that Sony DV camera that we had forever.
I don't even know.
Gavin, what was your first like video camera that
My
you
first
had?
video camera, I was like a Hi8 recorder.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Do you still have a Hi8? Because I need one, and they're very expensive to get now.
Yeah, I have a camera.
I have a
It
ton.
only has like the red, yellow, and black cable out though.
Oh, no, that's fine. So it's got like the one composite cable.
Yeah.
Well, that's all it was standard def back then. I just have a bunch of like old Hi8 tapes from college, back when I first started working with Matt and Joel. And
Sex tape?
No. Well, no.
I mean, if that was the time to make a sex tape, it was then, because Hi8 looks like crap. Like, you wouldn't want to make like a 4K sex tape. Sure.
No.
You wouldn't.
Dude, I hate
Would you-
HD porn. It's like, it's so
Wait, what?
off-putting.
Why?
HD porn?
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
Okay, I gotta ask Barb something since you're on this topic.
Yeah.
In Always Open just recently, you talked about, you started to talk about your porn preferences and then you guys got sidetracked.
Did
like,
we?
You started saying that you specifically look for certain things,
Oh,
and
yeah.
more importantly, if you run into certain things, you're out.
Yeah.
And it kills you. So you have to like watch porn before you watch it.
I have to pre-screen my porn, yeah.
Right.
Because I
So
don't
is
want to
it-
be like in the middle of finishing and it's just like a guy's testicles.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. Gaping buttholes is something that I don't like. I don't really like really close-ups of women's vaginas.
What's a real close-up
Like when it's like almost inside.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Like Barbara, just for reference, stop me when I get too close.
Well, for you, it would have been way
No,
back there.
a vagina.
Yeah, Gus, your vagina is awful.
Like this is the vagina?
No, it's a microphone, but imagine it's a vagina.
And stop.
That's still pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. That's pretty close.
You don't want to see inside someone, basically.
I don't want it to be like I'm on the magic school bus.
So you like some context to your vag?
I do.
If it's just a vag and you don't really see anything else, it's like you need to pull back so I can see what's happening
Yeah, because
around
otherwise
it.
it's just a lot of like skin and hair and sticky stuff and like pink stuff and flabby stuff, and you can
For me,
stop me whenever you want.
it's one thing and one thing only that kills
That
porn
kills you?
for me. It's only one thing. It's when you see a dude's face. Like, they cut to just the... they don't do it too much anymore. I feel like it was an older porn. They cut to just the dude's face.
What if it was Blaine's face?
Why would it have to be Blaine?
Then he would point at it and be like, who did that?
Who did this? Who's
did
this?
Who's this?
I'm turning off this porn right now. Yeah, dude face, I'm gone. I'm out.
But like, does it matter if he's is it only if he's making a certain face or just his face at all?
He's always making the face.
Yeah.
He's always making the
It's
face.
one face. They teach it in porn acting school on day one, and they say, stick with the fundamentals.
What face is this?
Can you do the face?
But usually the dude is like spray tan as well. It's like a young version of Trump, and he's like, Ugh.
No, there's two faces that guys make in porn. It's
It's
either that one or this one. Where it looks
I
like they're
just-
being forced to do it.
I just don't like a lip bite on a dude.
Yeah.
But I would say that's nicer to look at than whatever you were doing over there. What's that?
Deal holes.
You know what I'd love, Gavin, if we found out like Trump makes one of those faces when he signs executive orders? Like, he's signing the bill that would destroy your visa, and he's biting his lip like, yeah.
And then a close-up of a vagina.
I remember once, years ago, when we were still working at the call center. I guess this was a few years into me working at the call center, because you and I guess, knew each other by this point. And I was in the break room, and I found like a CD case, like one of those like black cases that like you have like 30 CDs in it.
Yeah?
And I was like, it was just sitting there on the break room table, and it was open, and I kind of glanced over it, and the CD was just labeled Burnie's porn disc.
It wasn't labeled Bernie's porn.
And
I guarantee it.
I zipped it up, and I took it to you, and I was like, hey, I just found this in the break room. It says like Bernie's porn disc. You're like, oh yeah, cool, thanks. And he just like took it, and he like just tossed it in your office, like nothing, like so nonchalant. And I was like, okay, like he totally owned it.
I'm an adult. Adults not allowed to have porn. It used to
Oh, wait, it was actually porn?
Well, yeah.
You weren't just being
Why did you label it?
You weren't just being funny?
Yeah, Gavin, we all just made porn faces in front of a live studio audience. What's the big deal of having porn?
Why
on a
would you
CD?
label it?
Why would you label it porn?
You know what it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think his label
No, that's
was...
exactly what it was.
Why would I write my own name?
It was written in Sharpie.
Why would I write my own name
Like
on a
if you
CD?
wrote like Bernie's Calculus 101, like nobody would want that disc or try to look at it.
But Barbara, do you ever label stuff as Barbara's whatever, like Barbara's word project? It's just your word project. I would have named
Maybe
it
you were
Bernie.
concerned it was going to get lost, and you wanted it to come back.
Come back to me.
And that's exactly what happened.
It was a disc full of gaping buttholes.
If it just said porn disc, it would have been Gus's porn disc at
Right.
that point.
Exactly. Well, you know, it is one of those things where
You guys are so old.
we had to burn porn to CDs, right? And then,
In my day, you couldn't stream porn.
but
Go
now,
to alt.xxx. hardcore.
And watch the image load bar by bar.
But it actually is really different now because, correct me if I'm wrong, even when like you were in high school, people didn't talk about like watching porn. Like that was not something that you would ever mention to your friends.
Was it embarrassing?
Well, like I mean, if somebody asked you when I was in high school, somebody asked you if you masturbated, most people go, no, not at all. And now it's like, you know, people in high school talk about like it's no big deal, but that would have been a big deal for somebody to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a bigger deal.
And now it's like, yeah, look, there's cum on my hand still. Look.
Oh God. Oh God.
Why did you put that so close to my face? Gus, wasn't it you a couple podcasts ago where you said you would pay good money to watch two people at the company fuck?
No, that was not me.
Who was that?
Someone did
Was it
say
you?
that.
I don't know.
It might have been you.
Was it?
There was a hypothetical discussion about it.
Yeah.
Would you pay money to watch people at the company have sex?
No, I don't think so.
I think it depends who.
What if it was me and Gavin? Would you do it? Why? What's that?
Maybe
Oh, don't worry, you can be bottom.
It'd be two faces of this.
we found a new division of the company. Live action.
You can bust out the Phantom camera.
Oh, come on now.
Has there ever been any like high school?
He's got it on his phone.
Yeah.
I know that, but I'm like talking about like a wide release porn film.
Yes. Yes, there has.
Were you involved? Okay.
I just know about it. I do research.
Would you though? Would you actually pay to watch?
I don't think so. No.
Maybe I did say this. Yeah, I would pay like $5.
It would depend on the people, I think.
I don't want any attachment to those people or like to the people.
Okay, what about
Gavin
this? What
said
about
it in a
this?
way where it's like you just want to know how they fuck. Like you don't care about actually watching it or enjoying
What
it.
if
but
it was
just
a
seeing, like-
machine, you put in $5, and then it does like a spin, and just one name comes out, and then it spins another one, another name, and it's just a random potluck of who's gonna bone.
And they have to have sex?
And
That's a totally different scenario.
no.
I would do that all day.
No, it'd be like you would just
But what
see-
if it's like you and Jack, or like you know?
Take one for the team. Go.
I will say I do like the Russian roulette aspect. If like two names come up and you cannot look away, you have to then experience every frame of that video.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. Because you know, you might get a good one on the first one, then it's rolling around that second time, and you're like, just please, not Brandon, not Brandon, not Brandon.
Then it comes up Gus and Brandon.
You know, the other thing too is like if your name came up first, then you're like, oh, that's a totally different spin that second time. Totally different.
I'm imagining now you put the $5 in, it's like Ashley, and then you just get a bat and smash it before it finishes.
So Ashley was on Always Open, and she played this I Never game with Ashley, and I was like nodding along until she got to something, and I was like, well, that wasn't me.
Which one was it?
It was Airplane.
Oh.
Yeah, Ashley and I have never done anything on an airplane. And I was like, and so we just recently took a flight to
You
Sydney,
did it.
Australia.
You didn't.
You guys should play the game again. Hey, Ash, how you doing?
What an opportune time to walk out.
That was good timing, Ash. How are you doing?
You can't teach comedic timing like that. That's instinct.
That
I
was
didn't
pretty
like. I
good.
turn around and she's standing there drinking her beer.
So let's play this game because I have our company's instant messaging directory. I'm just gonna scroll through names until you tell me to stop. Hold on 1 second.
Stop.
Nice,
Stop
I'm right at the top.
Already,
I'm
stop.
good.
You as in stop the game.
Yeah.
Oh, God darn
Is this
it.
the first time you're opening this directory?
Yeah,
as well?
I never talked
I bet
to
it's gonna
anybody.
be someone's first day, and they're gonna be roped into this.
Oh, I got this. Okay. Tell me when to
But
stop.
you
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right.
It's not never ending. This doesn't work.
It works just fine.
We can go up and-
This is a flawed
All right,
system.
Chad James from Screw Attack.
All right.
What an appropriate name. Screw Attack.
Chad's married though.
What's that?
He's married.
Not for
This
the
is not the
purposes of
way-
our game.
This is alternate universe.
Give me another one, Barb. Go.
Stop.
I can't say because he's the writer-director of Red vs. Blue Season 14. Or 15.
15.
All right, give me another one. But they would be awesome together.
Stop.
Stop. Lindsay Jones. All right. That's not good.
Now,
I don't want to play
I mean,
this
she's
game.
already pregnant, so you know.
Nothing
I don't
good will
play
come
this
of this game.
I told you from the beginning, I was like, I don't think I would be interested in this.
I would. Not to do it, just to watch.
Barbara, but would you do it if your name is in the mix? And
No,
Aaron's name?
And Aaron's name?
Yeah.
It's not worth the risk.
No?
There's a lot of people at the company I really do not want to have sex with.
I know, I feel you.
It's not you, it's alternate universe you.
Oh yeah, then I'd do it. Yeah, sure.
You're watching a hypothetical, another Barbara
Yeah.
doing these things.
But would they have the same moves?
Yes, exactly the same.
Nice,
It's
so I
not
could
you. You would
starfish
not-
all the way.
You would not have the experience.
Okay.
So you were asking about this trip?
Yeah, did you guys have a good trip down?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I was here a very short amount of time.
Ashley, do you want to come up here and say hi?
Do it.
Oh, it's like
Ashley's
we're on a
response
plane
was that.
again. You don't want to come up?
I think she has
All
to
right,
go somewhere.
fine.
Maybe? I don't know. Oh.
Yes, so sorry. Go ahead.
No, just like a short trip. I always wish that I had time to do more and see more.
You mean the trip itself, but like,
Right.
this is a long flight for you.
I felt like this flight was, like I've gotten really used to it. I really didn't have any jet lag this trip. I don't know, something's happened, but this particular flight over was agony.
Really?
Yeah, and I slept more than I've ever slept on the flight here. Like, you take off on the West Coast, they feed you for some reason in the middle of the night, and then, they turn the lights off
Because people eat. That's why they feel.
at like midnight, right?
All right.
Well, I mean, you don't want to go to sleep on an empty stomach. It's hard.
I'd already eaten, whatever. Okay, so they feed you, I ate the stupid food, whatever it was.
What was it? Was
What
it better than a cheese sandwich or whatever you
It
got?
was
from
definitely
London?
better than cheese sandwich. I think it was like some kind of spicy chicken.
All right.
They turned the lights off, so this is like an hour into the flight, and I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I was 3 hours away from Australia.
Nice.
So
That's amazing.
I slept like 10 hours on that flight, but that last 3 hours were agony. I
Really?
don't know what the deal was.
Why don't you just watch a movie or something?
I did. I watched Shin Godzilla, which was really good.
What'd you watch?
Shin Godzilla?
Shitting on Godzilla?
Shin, S-H-I-N.
Oh.
Shin Godzilla.
Like
What is it?
Godzilla's shin?
Yes.
What an
Godzilla's Shin.
entertaining
What is
movie.
it? What's the difference between Godzilla movie and a Shin Godzilla movie?
It's a Japanese Godzilla movie that came out last year.
Okay.
And Shin is a Japanese word, so Shin Godzilla.
does it mean?
That's just what they call.
Does it mean Godzilla?
I watched Shin Godzilla.
Right.
It actually turned out to be
Shit.
pretty
So happy I
good.
kept asking.
Did
There
you
were so many babies on our flight. We were all on different flights for some reason too. Like,
That's probably a good thing.
you came earlier, so that's fine, but
I was on your plane the day before.
all three of us were on different flights, I believe. You were coming from San Francisco, you were coming from LA, I was coming from Dallas. But there was, I don't know, like, who put out the memo that's like, any babies want to come to Australia this weekend? Because we got a flight for you. But there was one baby that had an ear infection the whole flight.
No.
And so, like when babies cry, it's like, I'm not actually going to do it, but this baby, I'll move the microphone away from my face. It was like, for the entire flight. It wasn't crying, it
banshee.
was just screaming.
But I can tell you, as someone who's had a baby on a plane, and my kids are very well behaved on planes. I never had any major incidents with them. But as bad as it is for everybody else who's on that plane, it's like 1,000 times worse for those parents.
And I felt bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't blaming them or anything. It just sucked.
You try to do everything in your power to calm the kid down and everything, and there's just times where kids just. I mean, do you remember as a kid getting so upset and being uncontrollably emotional,
Yeah. That actually happened to me when I was. That happened to me when I was 4, coming on home from a flight from Florida. I guess the way the plane was landing, the pressure was so bad that my ears popped.
Yeah.
But in the way that it's really painful. So I remember being in excruciating pain, and I remember screaming on the landing, but it was just the end of the flight.
Yeah.
And then for 4 or 5 years after that, I was so paranoid it was going to happen again. I would shove my head behind my dad's back while the plane was landing, just so I wouldn't I don't know why I thought maybe the air won't get to my head.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sucking
Thank you.
back behind your dad.
Yeah.
We had a thing. I did something on a plane that I've never done before, and
You
it
got
was
jacked off?
Very anticlimactic. No. No.
Okay,
Wait,
okay, anticlimactic.
Did you have sex or did she jack you
No,
off?
we didn't have sex. I was
Aw.
grilling her about it on the plane, though. I was grilling her about it, what she had done.
I mean, you got a whole way home, right?
I got details if you want to be filled in. I got good details. But we got seats on the upper deck of a 2-story plane, and we've never done that before, and I was so excited.
I don't think I've ever been on a plane with an upstairs.
You probably have and didn't know it.
You never been on a 747? No.
Not that I recall.
So, I mean, we were in economy, but I somehow was able to book one seat in the upper deck in economy, and then Ashley kept trying to do it, but it wouldn't let her. So it was this whole freaking thing. It was almost like being on The Amazing Race again, where Ashley didn't have a seat next to me or wasn't sure if she was like gonna be with me right up until the second we got onto the plane. But the upper deck thing I was super excited about, and it was totally anticlimactic because we didn't even get to go like up a staircase to get to our seats. It just, you boarded from two different directions, and I didn't even realize we probably didn't even go up, we probably just didn't go down, you know, the ramp.
Also, you actually went, it was like at the jetway stage that happened.
I just
went
walked
a different
onto
door.
the plane and walked to my seat. I'm like, what happened?
Well, how do you know you're upstairs then?
Because when you go back to the galley in the middle of the night and you ask for more Kit Kats, then there's the staircase that goes down there.
So did you go down for Kit Kats?
No, I ate all the Kit Kats upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
They also have Tim Tams back there.
They do, which they now sell in the U.S. Are Tim Tams, are they Australian or Kiwi? They're Australian.
Well, don't get that confused.
You know the Kiwis have them. You guys should just take them back. Take back your Tim Tams.
You know what I haven't had since I've been here? I haven't had any Vegemite yet.
Oh, God.
I love Vegemite.
Not missing anything.
Don't say no. I love Vegemite.
Vegemite's awesome.
Because I eat it properly. On toast with a little bit of butter, a little bit of Vegemite.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I gotta walk down.
We're going to do some questions.
You're going to do it?
I'll go. It's more fun.
So I guess we're going to do questions. Normally we send people around with microphones, but Burnie decided he's going to handle it himself. So I guess get Bernie's attention somehow.
That guy really
Normally I'd say raise your
wants to
hand,
ask
but
a
whatever you think
question.
Burnie likes, just go for it.
Yeah. I know you've asked questions in a couple different panels, so I want to get somebody who hasn't asked a question yet. How about you?
Get fucked.
Dude, shit
sup,
on
guys?
you.
I'm doing him a favor.
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are enjoying Australia. So, you've travelled around a lot. What's another country you'd love to go to that you haven't, or you'd like to go again, like for a second?
I really, really want to go to Japan.
Never
That's
been.
it. I've never been to Japan. I've never been anywhere in Asia.
Go on the way home from here.
We're going to New Zealand after this, actually, a few of us. Yeah. So that's our trip this year. Maybe next year after RTX, we'll go to Japan after that. But I really want to go.
It's on the way home.
Yeah, I want to see like all the Ruby stuff there too. I think that would be really cool.
I mean, I thought it was really cool to go to India last year.
That was on my list too, Gav.
Yeah.
Yeah, India was like one of my big last ones. Gus?
I love Japan. I want to go back to Japan again.
How many
What about
times
a
have you
place
been?
you've never been?
He said, or a place you've been that you want to go back to. A place
Well, I'm asking you a follow-up.
A place I've never been. Man, I don't know. I'd like to go to like Budapest, I think.
It's good.
Budapest.
Yeah.
Why Budapest?
Seems cool.
All right, fair play. I want to go, this year I would love to go, and I tried to convince Gavin to go with me. I want to go to Antarctica. Just, not really a country, but I want to go to the continent.
I mean, I
because
would love to go, but that's some serious buns.
I just want to go like 1 foot, boop, and then get the hell out. I don't want to spend any more time there.
How much would it cost?
Well, the thing I showed you was the South Pole.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that costs $21,000 to go to the South Pole.
That's everything from Austin to the South Pole, $21,000. Or
No.
what does that cover?
I think it's from like Argentina or Chile all the way down to the South Pole and then back. So you'd
Why
have
is
to
it
fly.
so expensive?
That's
the South Pole.
That is still cheaper than
I
I
get
thought it
that.
would have been to get to the South Pole.
What?
That is still less than I thought it would have cost to get to the South Pole.
Yeah, and I even read this stuff like if anything goes wrong, you can't have any kind of insurance or anything. And if something goes wrong and they have to evacuate you, it's like $150,000. That's just what it costs to evacuate you from. Sorry, I should have been better about this. Evacuate you from Antarctica. So, but you don't have to go to the South Pole. You can just go to Antarctica and go doot and then get the hell out.
So you just want to put a foot on it?
That's it. I don't want
Alright.
to pet a penguin or anything like that. I
Wants
don't
to be
give a
able to say
shit.
he's been there.
Want another question? Hi, where are you from?
This is from Sydney.
No big deal. Who else we got? Not just.
Oh,
What has been your guys' best experience this time in Australia?
What has been your best experience this time in Australia?
oh man. I really had a really fun time at the Always Open panel yesterday. It was really cool to get to do that in front of a live audience for the first time, because we've been doing that show for a couple months now, but to be able to do it with a bunch of people. I was worried no one would want to ask a question, because it's like, hey, ask us a question about something really personal, and like, something you might not be comfortable asking about. But
Really? You
people,
think-
people had great questions.
I would imagine nobody had a problem with that. Do I have my drink?
I really enjoyed doing MDB live recording the other day in front of people. That was a lot of fun.
That was a good one. That was
Oh,
a
wow.
2-hour panel. That one was a lot of fun. And you guys came up with some great scenarios, too. That was awesome. Gus?
Best thing this time, I think it's going to sound really dumb. My favorite thing has been seeing this convention center open and operational. You know, we've been striving to have this event here at ICC since before the building was done, and I've toured it, you know, when it was still under construction, and to finally see the doors open. I was telling, I forget who I told this. I was telling someone this. We were here in November doing our final walkthrough. The building still wasn't done, and we were talking about flow and how people would enter the building, and we were asking the people, you know, ICC staff, and you know, everyone was very honest about it. They said, since we've never had an event, we don't know what doors people are going to use. So that's a crazy wild card to think about when you have thousands of people showing up. It's like, we don't know how to plan for them, how they're going to approach. Now, obviously, we know. We're looking to see what doors people are using.
You guys are guinea pigs.
But it's like, it's just such a crazy thing to think that we're finally sitting here. We're finally, you know, this is what we've been shooting for. Since
So have you been stood in this room when it was completely empty?
Yeah, I've been in here, like, while they were still moving shit. Like, the last time I was in
How
here...
are they building it at one point?
Yeah, there was a huge line of electric golf carts out here. Like, I guess like all the golf carts for the entire building were in here, right over there. And they all have license plates because they're street legal.
Do you have a
We
golf
should
cart
race them.
to get around or something?
No.
Okay.
I'm
I was
saying
about
it's-
to get really pissed off.
The golf carts that they have for the event, for the venue.
Yeah, this is weird because it's like, it really does feel like, I feel how new this convention center is, because there's lots of little stuff that you guys won't see. Like, they don't trust us to use the elevators on our own.
Who's
You know what I'm
they?
talking about?
Oh yeah, you need a key card.
At both ends.
Yeah.
You have to have someone at the top and someone at the bottom approving you to use the elevator. It takes like 30 minutes to use an elevator. It's really weird. Really weird.
Yep.
You know what my favorite part has been? I bet you'd never be able to guess.
This moment right now.
What voice is that?
I don't know.
I'm talking like this.
The ghost
It's like
of
a weird.
Barbara.
It's like a weird strong bad voice.
It is. That's exactly what I was thinking. No, my favorite part of RTX Sydney so far has unfortunately nothing to do with Sydney itself. Has been hanging out with Joel Heyman, and it's really weird. And I was like, I've been on like 3 panels with him, and we had an absolute blast. And I came to realize I probably haven't seen or been with Joel like for like a year.
Yeah,
just because we've
probably
been
since last year at Sydney.
Yeah, so I've had a really fun time with Joel at this.
It is
convention.
weird that you would have to go to the other side of the planet to
Yeah, a little
hang
weird.
out with someone you work with.
Yeah, well, maybe 4 years from now we'll get back to it. I have more fun doing it though. Here, hey, what's up?
Get fucked.
Hey,
What's your name?
Lachlan.
Hi, Lachlan. Where are you from?
I just moved back to Sydney from Dubai.
Whoa.
Really? Bragging about it.
You guys were nice enough to use my music for the end of one of the podcast outro things.
Uh-huh.
It was actually episode 409, the clip show. I really liked it, but I know some people didn't, so I was wondering if I could please make the soundtrack for Rooster Teeth's Bad Decisions.
Harsh.
Would it all just be like sad trombone for everything?
Get fucked, people on stage.
Yeah, seriously.
None of us want to do the clip show, but you did.
No, he didn't.
No,
No, he didn't want to do it.
Where did that come from? Not from me. You're pointing at me?
I have the email.
Did I do a clip show?
Are you serious?
When did I say that?
I was very much against it, and then you said, maybe if we sit there and host it.
That doesn't sound like an approval. to me.
Then I was like,
whose idea was it? Was it Evan? All right, there we go. Did it work?
no.
Good.
No.
All right, well, if it didn't work, we won't do it again. How about that? Maybe if we host it, maybe that would work. All right. Does anyone have a question that's not them bragging about us using their music? Anybody? Here.
Yeah, fuck
nice.
Lachlan.
I like your cosplay. What's your name?
I'm Dylan.
Hey, John, where are you from?
I'm from Sydney.
I'm going to stop asking that question. All right, go ahead.
What's the one place in Australia you want to visit?
What's the one place in Australia that you would want to
I
visit?
feel like
Melbourne.
You've never been?
you haven't been there, Gavin?
No, I've never been. I've been to Perth.
I've been to Perth as well.
I think I've been to a lot of places in Australia. I think the one place I haven't been that I'd like to visit is Ayers Rock. I still haven't been out there.
Yeah.
That's not a city, but
I've been to, well, obviously Sydney, Melbourne, and the Gold Coast.
I've never been to the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast is beautiful. It's yeah, I love it there. It was
Gold
definitely
Coast?
my kind of place. Yeah. Hey, what's up? I would really like to go like scuba dive in the coral reef, or something like that.
See, I would love to go to the Great Barrier Reef, but I don't think that's in our future for too much longer. The ability.
RTX Great Barrier Reef.
What, just because it's dying?
Everyone's just underwater.
It's in bad shape, dude. Right? Is it rude to talk about this? Let me know.
Oh
Okay.
shit! I'm sorry.
What?
Something
It's
about
'cause
the Americans.
What's that?
They're drudging the reef.
Who is? The Americans are?
Matt Drudge.
Oh, your government is doing it.
He said something about like the Americans.
I always heard that you guys wear too much sunscreen. That's literally what we hear in America is Australians wear too much sunscreen and it's killing the Great Barrier Reef. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's yours. You can fuck it up as much as you want to. But that's like the weird thing we hear in the U.S. You haven't heard that?
Wait, what does
No.
sunscreen do?
Yeah, it's bleaching the reef.
Because sunscreen is white.
Oh,
It's all chemicals.
I've heard that mayonnaise is really bad for the reef
Yeah,
too,
terrible.
and milk.
I'm looking up sunscreen.
Also, white people,
People
Great
are
Barrier
throwing
Reef.
their sandwiches into the ocean.
the white bread.
So wait, are you saying that sunscreen is leaking into the ocean and then going on it?
What do you mean leaking, Gavin? What
Like
do you mean
coming off
leaking?
people's bodies?
Yes.
And then going on it.
They go sloop with all the sunscreen.
But
and then
doesn't sunscreen stay on the surface? It's oil.
What's the thing you guys teach kids about putting on sunscreen? Like pat, patch, slap or whatever? What is it? Slap, slap, slap.
What just happened?
That's also their sex ed slogan as well. Yeah, they know this. They all learn in like elementary school. What is it that puts the sunscreen on you? But what's the animal? Isn't there
That's
some
what this
kind
sounded like.
There's no animal that does it? Some guy said it's a glove, and one guy said it's a stork. What is it? Too many yelling.
Does one person
You
know?
need to pick a spokesperson that can tell me. Pelican.
Pelican.
I like the guy who used the pelican voice, and everybody shut up. All right, I'm looking up sunscreen in the Great Barrier Reef.
Did they get mad at you? Why'd you come back up?
I don't know. It seemed natural to come back up. Do we have a microphone out there for questions? Do we have one? If we're not, I'll jump down.
No. We'll send someone back out.
Why don't you, hey buddy, right here. Why don't you come up here and you can ask your question up here. Come on. Yeah, you. All right.
You got to do a pelican voice, though.
No, you don't. Please don't.
So, what do you guys prefer? Dicks, butts, or dick butt?
Give me back that mic.
Oh, my God. Oh,
I didn't even point at him. I was pointing at the guy behind him. That's the worst part. Yeah, you. Come on up here.
But you're
Look
really
what happens when you don't pay
embarrassed now.
attention. We get questions like that. Dick butt.
I like dick
Like
butt.
vag or tits.
Hi guys. I was just wondering, as an expanding company, where do you guys see yourselves going in the next years?
Back to the U.S. Next question.
I'm going to the Great Barrier Reef. We get to work on all kinds of different things all the time. And I think, like in the last couple of years in particular, for me, it's just, there's been an enormous amount of freedom to kind of do whatever the heck I feel like I want to do and try stuff out. Like even the vlogging stuff that I started trying last year, I really liked it. So I'm going to do more of that this year. And it's cool to be in a position where you can do that. For a long time, even though it was like, company was like taking off and everything was successful, that meant we had to do certain things. Like I had to make red versus blue. I knew I had to do that. I don't really have to do that anymore. You know, there's a lot of stuff that this company does that works really well, and I can let those things kind of lead the way and do other stuff that is higher risk.
Do you think it's kind of bullshit that we're not in that staff photo?
It's a little bullshit.
Dude,
I think we should take our own. We'll
where
get the
were
drone
you?
out.
Where were you that day?
I was at Sundance doing
Yeah.
a panel representing Rooster Teeth for Variety and YouTube.
Okay, fair play. Wearing a sweater.
What were you doing? Standing outside like a fucking dope?
I passed off a fucking dopey panel I had at Sundance to my buddy, and then I was able to hang out at home.
Where
I'll
were
tell
you,
what-
Gavin?
What?
Where were you during that picture?
My visa expired for the US, so I had to go and get another one.
We'll Photoshop you guys in. We'll
I
pick
think we
three
should-
No,
people.
you won't. The photo's already been released.
No, but I'm saying like we'll pick 3 people at the company we don't like that much and just put your face on them.
We should take the drone outside and we'll both just stand there and have it in the exact same spot. We'll
We should
take our
try
own
to
one.
imagine the spacing where everyone is and then try to stand on the edges. So it's like you and I are super far apart.
That'd be great. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Try
telling
that
you.
next week.
I'm telling you, I'm reading it right here.
All right, let's hear it.
Slip, slop, stop is polluting the Great Barrier Reef with sunscreen chemicals. But the individual polyps and soft corals that make up the reef are sensitive to subtle changes in temperature and nutrient load, and new research suggests the sunscreen snorkelers wear could seriously be impacting the reef. See, I didn't make it up. The Huffington Post made it up. Huffington
Slip,
Post.
slop, stop. Is that what it is?
Slip, slop, stop.
Slip, slap, stop. Slip, slap, slap.
What does that mean?
Flip, flop, just slop, drop, and roll.
I don't think we've said it once
It's
right up here.
the chemicals they get in the water.
I just love watching everyone get so angry.
So they made a slogan to tell chemicals? Like, what is this?
No. The thing, God Lord, this is not that hard to explain.
No!
So let me walk you through the.
Wait.
I'm going to walk you through the Australian life cycle. So when you guys are about 2 years old, they come out of the pouch, and then when they come out of the pouch, they immediately need to be told that the sun in Australia hates them and wants to kill them. So the way they teach those kids while they come out of the pouch to put on sunscreen is they tell them in a pelican voice.
You slip, slop, slap. You slip on a shirt, slop on sunscreen, and slap on a hat.
There you go. I'm with you. I was with you the whole time.
Yeah, but it's important though, isn't it? Because the atmosphere is crap over here or something. Like the ozone's thin.
Did I ever tell you about there was
It's the angle of the sun too.
You know the churches that have like signs outside of the church that say something, like they put letters on there to spell something out, or like
That's typically how you say something?
yeah, it's like those like little block letters.
We're on the same page.
There was one church by my old house where I was driving by it, and they always had something new on the sign every day. And I passed by it one day, and it said, "Stop, drop, and roll doesn't work in hell."
Wow.
Yeah.
The best one I ever saw was like the person just, I guess, gave up who was making the sign, and all it said was, "Big Bang, ? Yeah, right." That's all it said.
Those are just alternative facts.
I can imagine driving down the road and some scientist is like, "Yeah, God, I give up. I'm gonna go to church from now on."
God, ? Cool.
I think we have a mic now in the
Yeah,
audience.
we have our mic over here. If you want to roam around, find a few people.
Yeah.
G'day. Just wondering, have you ever had a snag from Bunnings?
Hold on, wait, hold on.
All right, Gus, explain to me.
I'm going to tell you what I heard. Good day. Have you ever had a snag from Boddington's?
I heard snag of bunnies.
That's what I heard. Have you ever had a snag from Bunnings? That's it. I'm moving here. I know this. I'm with you. I don't know what the fuck it means, but
A snag from... No, I have no idea. A schnitzel, I've had schnitzel.
A meat pie? A Tam Tam? A flip flop?
Sausage sizzle.
A flamagram? I don't know.
No, I have no idea.
all right. So figure out what a snag from Bunnings is. What is that, Gavin? You're British. You're related to these people. So what is a snag from Bunnings?
It's when you're shagging like bunnies.
There you
right?
go.
And you just catch your foreskin on something.
Yeah.
Like the button in your shorts.
So then to answer your question, sir, yes, I have. Several times. Once on a plane.
All right, you want to...
All right, twice on a plane.
Try to find someone from back over there if you could. Please. Got a vamp now. Jesus Christ, do you think she would have found someone while we were talking about that?
Why do we bring him up?
We're bringing him up.
Are we officially blaming Joel for the bag searches?
Are we blaming Joel for the bag search?
Whose bags got searched?
Yes,
What bag search?
everyone.
Oh, all of you guys.
That is officially Joel Heyman's fault.
Is it really?
What did he
happened?
do last
What happened?
year?
People are not supposed to...
So here's what happened. I got a message that said, there's been an incident with alcohol, now everyone's bag has to be searched. Is that right?
They're not supposed to bring alcohol, but at the Founding Fathers panel, Joel asked who has alcohol, and someone had it.
Really? Really? That's what it was, though, was that?
Yep.
Wow.
So then immediately they implemented a bag
Whoa.
bag check.
Wasn't there a message that went out to, how did it go out? Did it go out via Twitter?
I saw it on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, it went out on the RTX Sydney account, right?
Yep.
Can I tell you something? That tweet was a little catty. Because they were like, well, since you can't follow the rules, now we have to search all your bags. And they totally put it on everybody else.
Who tweeted that?
I don't know. It was super catty, though. I was probably the person who had to enforce the bag searching, and they didn't want to have to do it, but now they had to do it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, by the way, at future RTXs, you know, if that's the rule, just please, guys, don't forget, just lie about it. Lie about it. That's all that matters.
Speaking of which, anyone have any alcohol? No,
That's the American way. We can bring part of the American culture here to Australia. It's just rampant lying about what you're guilty for.
Hello.
Yeah, these so-called bag searches.
What has been the absolute highlight of your career at Rooster Teeth?
Oh, man.
Absolute
I'll answer for Gus. It's meeting Burnie.
I was going to say allowing Burnie to work with me. Why do we have the same jokes?
What's that?
I was going to say allowing Burnie to work with me. Why do we have the same jokes?
Well, I can't. I just said it first, just like I hired you. So that's the same thing. Have we ever told the story about how we met?
I think so.
It is like the nerdiest, like, cattiest story ever. Where, Gav, do you know this? How Gus and I met for the first time?
I may have heard it. I don't remember off the top of my head.
So we were in a break room in 1998.
I found your porn CD.
Yep, you found my porn CD. And we were playing Dead or Alive 2. We had a Dreamcast in the break room. We had to play it. And I was just walking through. I was the vice president of the company at the time. And I was playing single player. And then Gus joined in and said, I'll play you. And I was like, oh, okay. And I, you know, grew up as a kid when I stayed indoors all day playing video games.
You have told this story, by the way.
So, yeah. So I played Gus. I got a perfect on him and beat him. And I turned to him and I said, I should warn you, I'm kind of good at video games. And Gus didn't say a word. It was like you could hear a pin drop. And he just got like this. The next round, he completely destroyed me, got it perfect. And then this is exactly what I saw. This is exactly how long it took him to do it. He goes, I'm good at video games too.
It was,
that was it. That's how we met.
I had a really cheap air juggle combo with Helena that I never used, but you saying you were good at video games pissed me off so much. I was like, you are not touching the ground. You probably spent that whole round in the air.
I got destroyed. I got absolutely destroyed.
Yep.
What's been your highlight?
Oh, that's really tough to say. I think, you know, just all the travel. Like, when I was a little kid, I grew up in a really small town in the middle of nowhere. And from a young age, it was like, I want to get out. I want to see the world. And one of the highlights was always like, I want to go to Australia. I want to see Australia. And now it's like a regular thing where I come down here.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like a pandering answer, but that's really true. It's like I felt like in my mind as a little kid in the middle of nowhere, this was the ultimate dream, was to like get away and see somewhere.
I agree.
Literally on the other side of the world. And now I'm lucky enough where it's like I get to do this a couple times a year and be here and, you know my way around a city on the other side of the world.
I'd say for me it was the sort of, there wasn't like one huge moment, it was just the slow progression of being a fan, watching everything that you made, and then like coming over and helping at conventions and things, and then being at the point where it's like my face is in the booklet of an event that you're holding is pretty cool. It's just like surreal.
You always, even when you talk about it, you say you instead of us. You still say you.
Yeah, I work here too.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's just really cool progression, and I like to never forget how it started. Otherwise, you sort of take it for granted. Barbara.
So before Barbara gives her answer, I've been instructed to give an announcement. It's in the lines of our bag check. Apparently there's someone with a laser pointer in the crowd who's shining it. And I haven't noticed it, but they said if you keep shining the laser pointer, we're gonna have to cancel the panel and get off the stage. So if you're the asshole with the laser pointer, put it back in your pocket, please.
Or just lie about it.
Barbara, what has been your highlight?
Well, it's when someone had a laser pointer at a panel, and I'm just kidding. I think my highlight, it's again like Gavin said, there's no really like one moment of like this is the ultimate cool, amazing moment. But I think it was at the first RTX where we showed Ruby for the first time, and getting to be on a panel with 4,000 people in the audience, like cheering and crying and everyone being like so excited for this new project we were starting. That was like really, really cool for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the first Ruby panel we did at RTX.
I'd like to change my answer. I just remembered a time where I was playing Halo 2 with you, and I killed you, and you called me the C word. Pretty great.
Cancer. You live in the UK? So I say this a lot, but I've always enjoyed watching you two, Gav and Barbara. Like watching your progression to me is like, I always think that you guys are a bigger part of the story of Rooster Teeth than Gus and I are, because we don't have half of your experience. Like, we don't have the half where we grew up watching the stuff and now we're making the stuff. It's like, all we have is we just kind of made this stuff. Which I know sounds weird, but it's like you guys have you have a more complete experience with Rooster Teeth than we do. But for me, like, the moment, like, the one, like, highlight, absolute big moment was standing in Baba's shop in Pushkar, India, for the documentary that we did. Because we'd been talking about it for like 8 years by that point. And I just was kind of overwhelmed of being in that space. And then I thought about, like, what are all the things that had to happen to where I'm standing in this tiny little closet of a barber shop in a place I've never heard of in the middle of rural India. It's like all the things that over all the years that kind of led to that moment. If you change any of them, where I'm not standing there. And it's like, I don't know why, that just seemed the most real to me.
No, that stuff's crazy, yeah.
It made the world feel really small, too. It was like, it took like a day to get there. Like, you can go anywhere on the whole planet. I mean, if you save up for it, you can really go anywhere.
I was thinking about this
except for Antarctica.
I had a day trip to Los Angeles from Austin, where like I woke up early, you and I went to LA, did a presentation, then came back in the evening. And I was thinking about, it's like 100 years ago, that would have taken weeks.
Yeah.
50 years before that, it might have taken months, and people would have died on that trip.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a crazy thing. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the West Coast, do something, and come back same day, and sleep in my own bed. Like,
yeah,
the world really
you
is
go for lunch.
small, right?
Yeah, Louis C.K. does a great bit about that. It's like they would leave to go to the West Coast, and a different group of people would show up. Like, it would be a totally different, because everyone else died, and there'd be new people born along the way.
I mean, apparently from England, if two boats left at the same time and ended up in the US, sometimes they could both leave on the same day and arrive weeks apart.
Like, think about coming to Australia.
The ocean.
Impossible. I always wonder, like, how do they find Australia? It's like, I know it's a huge continent, but it's like, just the ships they had back then. Who knows? We got off on a huge tangent here. Ready for the next question?
Did Australia start with
How are we doing on time?
genocide?
We got like another half hour.
Oh, we're great. Okay.
But you know how America just wiped out all of the people living there?
Sure.
Was that a similar thing in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
I see a lot of heads going, yep.
Yeah. You guys just had Australia Day, and that's always a huge thing on Australia Day, the protests around the indigenous population that was decimated by... The one exception, I think, in like European history of colonialism and imperialism, of like all of the people who look like us going somewhere and just conquering the place, the one exception is pretty much New Zealand, where they showed up and the Maori, they were just fought them, and the Maori beat the shit out of them, and then they fought them for like another 50 years, and finally it was the first time in history Europeans were like, hey, let's share. let's not fight about this anymore.
Yeah, what I'd heard was the Maori were the ones who invented trench warfare, and the British weren't prepared for it at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And they're just big badass dudes that kick your ass.
Right behind you.
Yeah, ready for the next one.
I think he's back here behind you.
Go ahead.
How's it going, guys? Quick one. So this morning, Joel signed my rock. What's the weirdest thing that you guys have signed this weekend?
Your cock?
My rock. Rock. You were there.
This weekend?
Or just in general? For whenever?
Weirdest thing?
I mean, the insulin pump at PAX was pretty odd.
Yeah.
Because it was going into his body.
Someone wanted me to sign a jar of ashes that had the word Pura written on it.
Dark.
So it's not actual.
It wasn't real ashes.
Not actual ashes, I think.
My grandmother.
Yeah.
I've signed a lot of artificial limbs.
Yeah.
I feel like. Or like I was going to say a handful. That might not be the best way to say that. I feel a few.
So I think the weirdest thing I signed isn't that weird until I tell the second part of the story. But at RTX in Austin, I think it was 2 years ago, someone had me sign their arm. And you get that every now and then. Someone wants to sign their arm. Then he came back the next day and had a tattoo artist tattoo over my signature. So
yeah.
He had my signature permanently tattooed on his arm.
Did you know it was going to be a tattoo?
No.
It could have been like a really crap signature.
Right, he came back and showed it to me. I was like, what led you to this point in your life?
So is there, like, we know you won't sign shoes.
Do not sign shoes.
Gus will not sign shoes. He just won't do it. Is there anything you guys won't sign?
Someone's naked dick?
Okay.
What about the clothed dick?
Yeah, if they had a little sock on it.
You would?
Like, if it didn't have to, like, touch it. Like,
When's
if
your
they
next
laid
signing?
it on the table for me.
I feel like I would sign anything if they hold it. Is that bad? I'm
Even
trying to
their
think of
dick?
how could that-
Anything?
Well, like, I mean, I'll sign a shoe if I don't have to touch the shoe.
Picture of Hitler. You're signing that?
Yeah, I'll scribble over his dumb face and write my name.
All right, put Gavin on it.
It's weird. I always do that to you when someone gives me a picture of you on it.
You literally do that.
Yeah. Whenever someone gives me a poster that has Gavin on it, I always either sign over his face or on his dick. I feel like
Why?
it's appropriate. Because I just want to make you look stupid.
There's something that comes up a lot, and I don't feel comfortable signing it, but for entirely different reasons, which is a lot of times at signings or just wandering around at conventions, someone will stop me, and they'll show me an original piece of artwork that they made, and then they want me to sign it. I'm like, I don't feel like I should. Like, I don't feel like I
just ruining it.
Yeah, it's not like signing your name to a piece of artwork that you didn't make.
Signing over it, are you? Just like on the side?
No, but like, that's what the artist does. The artist signs the piece. You know what I mean? It's like, I just feel weird doing that. It's always like a long pause I have to do. Like, are you sure that you want me to do this? Like, I remember the thing that I was like, I refused was the first time somebody wanted me to sign their laptop. And it just is like, it was too expensive. And I'm like, that you don't want that. It's nice of you, but then they kept coming back and I signed their laptop. And it's like, we do that on, I think, like on a fairly regular basis now. But I still remember the first time I did that. It was just like, I couldn't bring myself to write on something that was $2,000.
I feel like if you grew up without much money, it's like an inner instinct to not do that.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't want to ruin something expensive.
No, definitely. Yeah, and that's the same thing with a tattoo. Like, whenever you sign someone's arm for the tattoo, it's like, I'm always like, oh my God, are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, how about over here?
Hey.
Hey.
To play with a question about where you would go in the world if you could, where is somewhere you would never go back to?
Houston, Texas. Thank you for asking. If I had to fly to Houston, Texas via the San Jose airport, I would storm the cockpit and there'd be a second 9/11. I really would do that. Yeah, that's right. Not your country.
Oh, God.
Come on, I can make that joke. It's like a rapper saying the N-word. I'm an American.
Oh my God.
What was that, too dark now, too?
Too dark?
So, my answer is very similar. I would never go back to the town I grew up in. I would, like, I have, if that chance ever comes up, I will never go back to that shithole of a town, and I hope it burns.
You know what? I just saw it in something. Are you not comfortable saying where you're from?
Say it. Fucking Eagle Pass, Texas.
Eagle Pass, Texas.
Piece of shit.
Do you know the Eagle Pass, Texas is where, in No Country for Old Men, Javier Bardem's character catches up to Josh Brolin's character?
Right, it's where he's outside the pharmacy, he lights the car on fire,
Yes.
it explodes, yeah.
Yeah, and the whole scene with the hotel where he hits him in the shoulder with the lock and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's in Piedras Negras, which is across the border, I think.
Dude,
Right.
that's really cool.
That was not actually filmed in Eagle Pass, but yeah, that's where it's supposed to be.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you not have any fond memories of going home?
Zero.
Like, what about like a first experience that was nice that you had there?
My first nice experience was when I left.
You met Frank.
My first nice experience was when I left.
There we go. All right, fair play. Where would you never go again?
I've been to some places in England that are pretty grotty. Like Scunthorpe
what?
or something.
Scunthorpe?
What's the word you use?
Scunthorpe sounds like a
Right.
He-Man villain.
Well,
Scunthorpe.
I got you.
Thanks, dude.
I would never go back to the Frankfurt airport if I could choose.
Why? What happened there?
It just sucks. We had to fly in and out of Frankfurt when we went to Germany for the first time for this event called Konichi. Because there was in a city called Kassel that was like 2 hours out of Frankfurt, and that was the closest airport. It is the worst design airport I've ever been in my entire life.
In what way?
Like the place where you go through security, where you put your bin on, you put your stuff in, and you go through. They had about a foot where people could load up their bins and stuff like that. So there was no, like, you couldn't make a line. So people were like zigzagged around the doors. And there was like 20 people. They also opened security by the gate instead of when you actually check in for your flight. So everyone's trying to board the plane, but they had to go through security first.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and there was 200 people trying to get on the plane, and everyone's like zigzagged around the doors trying to check in, and there's like 4 of them, and it just took forever. It sucks.
I always want to go to China as well. And honestly, when we went to China for the Amazing Race, that's where we got eliminated, it like ruined the whole country for me now. Like
Just because you got eliminated?
by the way, it's happened with everybody that I know on the race. Wherever they got eliminated, they will never go back to that country. Never. They're like, nope, no, I hate that country.
Just
Never
bad
go.
memories.
Yeah, it's a bad day. It really is. It's like, you know, they actually have like counselors around that you could talk to once you're eliminated from something like that. It's
Really?
It's just it's like a big like let down release kind of a thing. And another thing that happens is, I think we talked about the podcast just recently when people get adrenaline and they go for periods of time. Right? Josh was talking about it on day 5. That happened like on the Amazing Race. Everyone just went, and you got very little sleep, you got very little calories, and every time somebody was eliminated, the next day they got brutally ill, like just unbelievably sick. Like one guy had to go to the hospital from dehydration, and apparently we had a doctor, an MD, Blair's dad, on the race, and he said, yeah, it's like your body doesn't have time to fight anything, and it just suppresses the immune system. And your immune reactions to things are what we associate as the sickness.
So once the adrenaline's gone, all the symptoms are suddenly just the only thing left.
Wham! They all come in and they hit. Yeah.
Do you think that maybe that's why people get eliminated? The illness is built up to a point where their body has to let it take over?
I don't know.
They don't perform as well, and then they're eliminated?
I don't know, but we didn't get sick, you know?
So if I were to get sick, could I then just get an adrenaline shot and jam it in my heart and I'd be fine for a day?
Yes. Sure. Do it.
How does that even work?
Adrenaline shot in your chest?
Yeah.
Anybody got one? I don't know. I've always wondered that too. It's like, it seems like putting a hole in your heart, that's like you're dead. Like if you just puncture the heart, but apparently with this big syringe, anybody can do it.
I don't know.
Gross.
Next question?
Hi guys.
Hey.
Thanks for coming out. Under the great big umbrella of Rooster Teeth, all the shows, all the productions and everything, what's something you haven't been involved in that you'd like to be? Even if it's just for a short bit.
I don't think there's anything. Always open.
Always open.
I wish that I had been able to be part of Day 5. I thought Day 5 turned out really good.
Well, there'll be more. We just announced Day 5, Season 2.
I'm saying up till now.
Oh, up till now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you never know.
I thought Day 5 was really good, and I wish I could have done something to be part of that.
Guess you're gonna get cast as a dead person. You're in it.
Yeah.
I would love to do more stuff with like Achievement Hunter, actually.
But you have been in Achievement Hunter.
I've been in like a horse tournament here and there, and I got to do the Smite tournament a couple years ago. But I don't know. I would like to do more like stuff with you guys. Gameplay videos, they're always fun.
Fair play. Well, you stopped doing those podcast Let's Plays.
Yeah, hopefully they'll come back soon.
I'm in the same boat as Barbara. Let's Play is the only thing I haven't done. Like, I haven't done an Achievement Hunter Let's Play ever, you know? So.
How is that possible?
Never been asked. Next question?
Well, I mean, like, Gus has been in them.
What's that?
Gus has been in them. He never
probably
asked
been
Gus.
asked.
Because I'm good at Last of Us.
Yeah,
he
and
walked in, he was-
Destiny as well. Remember I was giving you guys shit because you guys did the Destiny Sparrow racing just recently, and you asked Gus to do it and not me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't ask Gus to do it.
Right, there you go.
Don't look at me and say it.
That's okay, I'll get my revenge. Destroy something you guys love. Where are we at, over here?
What's up, guys? I don't know how much time we got left, but why the fuck haven't we played Gavin or Google yet?
Oh.
We haven't. I don't think you've prepared for it.
No, we didn't. We specifically did not prepare for it. We didn't do that because, it's one of those things that's like, they have to be really good questions, and I don't have any built up right now that I can throw at Gavin, unfortunately. So that's why we're not doing Gavin or
It's
Google.
been pretty full on all weekend. We just haven't really had time to prepare anything like that.
I wish I prepared some Gavin or Gaggle.
Oh, God. I did think about that, too. No, we actually, Gavin and I did so much prep, basically, for the $1 Million Butt panel, because that was a production, you know? I guess this is a production. This is going to go up on the...
It might be a bonus thing. We'll see.
A bonus thing? Okay. Will you be back in time to make a new one?
It's being taken care of.
No kidding?
Yeah.
What is it, a clip show? No, shut up. All right.
Nope. I think they're finding the person.
All right. When they find the person, they can do it. How much time do we have?
Great invention, huh?
What? I know. I know.
Oh, done.
I gotta look at my watch, and it's like, now checking the time takes way too long.
All right, here we go.
Ah, he's got it's a
classic
legitimate strategy shirt.
Hey, so out of everything you guys have
Closer to your
done-
mouth.
We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. So for out of everything you guys have done, what was the most embarrassing thing you have done, basically?
Jesus.
$1 million butt episode where Gavin's scenario was your butt is the only source of fire.
Really?
In the world. And I had to put on this fake butt, but there was no place to change or anywhere to hide behind because we were in an open park. So I just had to like shove a plastic butt into my pants and then pull down my pants with it still on there. And I'm like, you guys are gonna see something right now. So I was like half naked in front of like an entire production crew with a fake ass on my real ass.
In a public park.
That reminds me, my most embarrassing moment is probably being in the room with you when you had to change for that Vine where your shirt came off.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That
it was like, it was weird
embarrassing.
because you had your norks out, well, obviously in the bra, but we would look away when you were changing, like to get, even though we were going to be looking right at them.
Yeah.
It was something about like pulling your shirt off. We were just like,
Did you call them my knucks?
norks.
What about you, Gus? Anything embarrass you at all?
I really don't get embarrassed.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's ever happened. Maybe the closest, I'll say the closest to it.
Is there a story that you wish you never told on the podcast?
No,
How about that?
absolutely not.
Really?
The closest I'll come to having been embarrassed was, there's that story about the time I went to Sundance and got really drunk and peed on the snowman.
Right.
And said I'm the destroyer. And there's an animated adventure about it. What got cut out of that story, what I didn't tell in that story, was that we had some Canadians who were sharing the condo with us.
Yep.
Much music. And while all that was going on and while I was peeing on the snowman, they had a video camera and were filming my dick and they were filming me pissing on the snowman, like close up.
Yep.
So that footage exists somewhere.
Yep.
How is that never
I
surfaced?
think it's like part of a music video or something.
Maybe, who knows? So some Canadians have footage of my dick somewhere.
Don't you think, though, at some point you've accidentally appeared on camera naked with a camera that you don't own or, like...
What, like Nate stood in a hotel window or something?
Or something, or there was a camera in a bathroom somewhere or something like that, and it's just like that footage just never saw the light of day? You don't think that?
I wouldn't be embarrassed by that because it's where a camera shouldn't have been. Like, if someone has footage of my knob in a bathroom, it's like, well, so what? That's where I get my knob out. What do you want from me?
So that's on you?
It's on them, yeah.
Yeah. And you wouldn't care? You would care, wouldn't you?
I would care a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you're at the urinal, I don't want to propose a scenario, and somebody walks up with a camera and takes a photo, you'd be like, that's cool.
I wouldn't be, that's cool. I'd be like, I wouldn't be too happy about it.
What would you do? Would you turn around in front?
I'd be like, did you just take a picture of my penis? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, do me a favor and delete it.
What if they just
How
left?
polite.
Do me a lemon.
It's happened. We read a story about some celebrity where a guy did that in a club. Just like walked up and leaned over his shoulder and took a picture while he was going to the bathroom. Because the dude was curious. That was it.
Maybe I wouldn't say delete it. I'd just say don't post it.
Really?
Yeah, they can keep it and do whatever they want with
Gus, what would you
personal
do?
time.
That phone would be down the toilet.
I would
so fast.
smash
It would
that
be
guy's phone in
broken
2
into
seconds.
a million
Yeah, but-
fucking pieces, and then his teeth would follow.
Yeah, but then you'd be breaking the law somehow, right?
That's fine. I can break the law.
I can deal with that.
Yeah.
See, I can't break the law. Because I get chucked out of the country.
So
I actually had a discussion with my kids fairly recently. I had forgotten about it, but my oldest reminded me of it. He's like, do you remember when you talked to us about this? I was like, oh, kind of, sort of. But I basically had a discussion with them where I said, sometimes you have to break the law. I had this like a real discussion with my kids. Well, my oldest one is so much about the rules, and I was trying to explain to him, it's like, okay, there's laws for everything, and you're not supposed to break the laws, but people break laws all the time because they have to. Like, if there's an emergency, they speed to get somewhere, and it's better to speed and break the law in that case than it is to follow the rule, and then you have your emergency becomes even bigger. Like that kind of thing. That's what I was saying to him. It's like, not everything's like cut and dry.
Right.
Yeah.
So
They didn't take that away from that conversation at all.
we were talking about, someone taking a picture of your dick in a bathroom. It happened again.
Wait, what happened again?
Someone talked to me in the bathroom.
Oh, someone did this to Blaine, too.
Here.
Someone here?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Maybe it was the same dude.
You all have your
they all
hands
their
up.
hands up. The hands went down.
I could tell, like, I walked in, he was at the urinal. I walked up, I went to, like, another urinal. He finished, then I think he realized that I was there, and then, like, zipped up his pants and stopped, and was, like, doing that thing where he was thinking about coming to talk to me, and in my mind, I'm like, don't do it. Don't. My dick is in my hand. So then he, like, stopped. Then he went and washed his hands real fast. I hope he washed his hands. And then just, like, kind of waited by the door. And then as soon as I finished and zipped up my pants, he was like, hey, can I get a photo? I was like, let me wash my hands. We're going to step outside, and then we'll do this real fast.
Well, at least he didn't talk to you while your penis was in your hand.
He had a serious internal conflict about it.
But then he didn't.
He didn't. He chose correctly.
Somebody talked to Blaine, came up behind him while he was at the urinal and, like, patted him on the back. Like, physical contact when you're, that's a little too much.
Women never have that problem, which is great.
Get your own little stalls.
No one has once patted me on the back while I was pissing.
Yeah.
If so, I'd be like, fuck. Oh, hey.
It's intimate.
We got someone over here.
Hey guys, what are you looking forward to doing the most this year at the company?
What are we looking forward to doing the most? I'm looking forward to my vlog. I mean, I'm already 2 episodes into what is going to be a 52 episode run, so I'm feeling really good about that. I really like it. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. There's one episode coming up in particular that I'm super excited about.
I think you'll do well to beat that giraffe that went apeshit and ran in circles all over the place.
It was great. I tried to get a tilt shift shot of the giraffes. I just couldn't get high enough to get the distance for it, but I would love to see tilt shifted giraffes. It'd just be funny to me. So couldn't get it though.
This past year, I got to do a lot of new things at the company, which was really cool. One of the things I did was I wrote an episode of Red versus Blue, which was really fun. So I'm hoping maybe this year I'll do something with live action, like maybe write a short or direct a short or something like that. But I don't know.
I'm going to try and do some big slow-mo stuff this year.
Yeah.
Slightly bigger budget stuff.
I saw you on the morning show the other day.
I went on Australian TV.
I woke up early to...
It was actually nice to be there in the studio because I've done Australian breakfast TV in the past, but it was a live satellite link from England where it was 11:30 p.m. and I came straight from the pub. So it wasn't the most coherent interview I've ever done.
Plus that delay's a nightmare.
Yeah. You end up looking like an idiot.
Yeah, you do.
Because if they say something and you're like nodding along to it, and then they finish talking in Australia, and I'm still like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Was that when you were still living at Jeff's?
What was?
That interview?
No, I was in England at that point.
Oh, right, okay. I'm dumb.
I'm
I remember you had to do some interview via Skype after we all had been drinking, and it was when you were still living at Jeff's house, and you're like,
No,
oh,
that was
shit,
actually a real life interview, and they wanted me to like throw a melon up in the air. It was for an English TV show, but they flew to Texas to interview me, and I was way too drunk.
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
Remember that time I accidentally took your wallet after drinking?
Accidentally? How do you...
took it on purpose.
No, well, okay. This was maybe a year after you moved to Austin.
Yeah.
We were out drinking, and Gavin had his wallet out on the table, and I did one of these things where I'm like, and I put it in my bag, and he was like laughing, and I just forgot to take it back out of my bag.
Yeah, so I got in a cab, and I arrived at home, and I was like, well, I can't pay you.
Oh,
this is
really?
uncomfortable. Yeah, I had to run inside and just find some cash.
Do you find that since Uber has started that you just get out of cabs and walk away now?
It's a serious... I've not done it yet, but I have to mentally prepare myself not to do that every time.
I mean, I haven't gotten fully out and shut the door, but I have started to get out of a cab and I do it a lot and just don't go through the payment process. What about you? What's your thing?
I'm excited for the rest of this season of A Spot of Science to come out.
Cool.
I think we really retooled that show well, and I think this season's going to be really good. So I'm excited for people to watch that.
When do I get to go on it?
Maybe next season.
Ooh. But we got a lot of cool stuff. We just announced Day 5, Season 2. I got to be careful thinking about stuff we have announced and haven't. We announced that Ruby Volume 5 is going to be starting this fall. We also announced that Jeff and Griffin have a podcast that's starting later this month. Relationship goals. What else do we have going on? Gavin's, you should do some stuff. Trying to think. I'll think about it some more. Anyway, we'll go to the next question. But we got a lot of cool new stuff starting. I know about a lot of things, and it's like I'm always worried because I'll say something out loud, and then the marketing department goes, We have not yet announced that.
You did that for Australia 2 times.
With announcing people coming to the convention? Yeah, I think I announced you without realizing.
And then you announced Ashley as
Oh,
well.
you know what? Okay, let me tell you a story. So this I almost really fucked up big time. We, at this convention, we announced the new RTX, and it's RTX in London.
Yes.
And you and Bethany made the world's worst announcement for that. That was a train wreck of an announcement.
It was a great announcement that got whatever.
How was it announced?
It was supposed to be a video that we produced that would have come out, but instead the video didn't get made and we did it live, which just didn't make sense to me.
Did it live where? Just on the...
Here.
You just stood here and did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally right here on the stage. But the way they did it, Gav, was they were going to have a wheel they spun with a bunch of city names on it, and they couldn't afford to bring the wheel to ship the wheel because it was either too late or too expensive to ship it.
How much would it cost just to make a wheel?
I have no idea.
Apparently $1,500.
Oh.
So instead they got a little app and they put the wheel up on the screen. And then Bethany was here and she goes, "Are you ready?" And everybody's like, "Yeah," and let's do it. And she takes her finger and goes, and the iPhone locks up. And then the app crashes and it goes, all of a sudden it's just a desktop up on the screen of somebody's icons. And they're like, "Okay, let's reboot the phone." So everyone is here.
Oh, come
They're
on
all
now.
watching them reboot the phone. The wheel comes back up.
We didn't reboot the phone.
She goes to spin it again. Nothing happens. And everyone's like, ah. Then she restarts the app again. She goes to spin the wheel. Nothing happens. And then Gus goes, "You know what? Forget it. It's London. We're going to London." As soon as he says we're going to London, the wheel starts spinning. I mean, literally the second he finished saying it. And then it comes up on a totally different city.
Let me be honest with you. I've never understood announcing a convention at a different one. Because who's going to go to London from here?
Nobody.
Well, don't forget, there's a lot of people watching at home, though, who can't attend RTX Sydney, who are excited to hear about RTX London.
I mean, I get
and it's
that,
also
but then
like
just
a press thing.
So what was
just
the
announce
tweet
it
you were
online
gonna
then.
make?
What was that?
What was the tweet you were going to make? You almost got yourself in trouble.
Okay, that's a tangent about the announcement being terrible. So Gus and Bethany made this announcement today, and you called it out. Our Twitter account did a thing where it announced the announcement.
Yeah.
I had
the day
nothing to do with
before.
that.
Get ready for a big announcement, and you were like, "Seriously, at Rooster Teeth, are you announcing an announcement?" Because we hate that. And
We had to get people to tune in.
we know. So when I was coming here on the first day for that announcement for your thing, I walked out. The very first Guardian I saw looked at me and go, "Oh, hey, they want to let everybody know we're not making that announcement today." And I said, "We're not making the RTX London announcement?" And she says, "No, we're not doing that today." And then I got in my car by myself to come over here. And I was mad because we had done the pre-announcement about it. And so I literally got my phone out and I was tweeting, "Oh man, so bummed that we couldn't make the RTX London announcement today." And I was just about to tweet it and Ashley goes, "You better ask Bethany before you tweet that." And I got my hand on tweet. I'm like, "Yeah, but if I ask Bethany, then I don't get to make the tweet." And I was like this, and Ashley's like, "Don't." And it turned out it was a mistake. They just, what was that? What was that?
Gavin was supposed to be on stage, but then he couldn't make it because of a conflicting time. So
Why can I make it?
I don't know. That's what I was told.
Conflict in time.
Gavin was struck from the announcement, and that got misinterpreted as the announcement's off.
That spread like wildfire.
So it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
Okay.
It's like
If I'd have tweeted that, how mad would Bethany have been?
that would have been bad.
That'd have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't tweet that.
Yeah.
What?
I was just...
What's that?
But if we had canceled the announcement, I totally would have tweeted it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So are you going to London?
Can we say
I
who's
think
going?
you've already said you
Oh,
are.
we did. I said it on the. I accidentally announced it on the live stream at the top of this show. Yeah, I'm going to London. Jeff and I are both going to London.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yes. Are you happy because we're getting out of Australia? Is that what it is?
They weren't supposed to go.
They didn't know
but
they were
then we
supposed
have
to
to
go.
let them know.
Now you got to let me and Jeff go. One more. How many questions can we take?
We only have a couple of minutes. We have like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe. So do we have any questions? Do we have any microphone left?
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't see our mic people. They're gone? We have questions. but no
I'll go
microphone.
down.
Get one from this gentleman over there.
Who's that buff dude?
Who's it? What?
Who is he?
Oh, hey, Blaine. Hey, who was the dude who mauled you in the bathroom? What happened to the guy who came and talked to you?
Well, so I went in and I was taking a piss. My hand was on my dick, and then I hear boom. I was like, okay, some guy's sick. He's about to vomit or something like that. And I feel a presence behind me and a little, and I was like, no, there's pee coming out of me right now. And I was like, could you give me a second? And he was just like, just basically exactly what Gus experienced that years ago.
Are they in the room right now?
Getting touched while peeing is rough.
Were you in a stall or a urinal? Urinal. All right.
Urinal.
At least that's not too
Urinal.
weird.
Stall would have been in.
There's a gentleman back here waving furiously. This usually does not indicate the quality of the question. Barbara, let's put our theory to the test. Hey.
It's actually not a question.
Fucking A! Okay.
It's actually a thank you.
Go ahead.
So, obviously, just about 2 years ago, Monty passed away. And you announced that on Tuesday, Australia time. Then you did the live stream podcast. I didn't watch the live stream. I ended up watching it on Sponsor. And it was I remember it was a 45-minute podcast, memorial for Monty. Then 45 minutes later, I actually got a phone call from my father, and my sister had passed away. And that was 2 years ago yesterday. And I just wanted to say thank you. Like, yesterday was such a great day, and I can't thank you enough for that.
All right, well, thanks, dude. Sorry for your loss, man.
Bet
Hey,
you feel
Gus.
like an asshole, don't you, Burnie?
Any funny jokes for that one, Gus? Got anything up there?
No.
Good. Okay, good. All right, where are we at? Right here. Hello.
I have this drawing for Barbara, and
I'll keep it.
my question is, did you guys ever struggle with bullying when you were younger?
Yeah, it was super hard to bully people when I was a kid. I mean, they were always crying and whining. No, I think we all did. I mean, I grew up playing video games and liking super nerdy stuff, and you guys are lucky. They didn't have video game conventions like this when I was a kid. There was like 3 kids in my school that I could talk to about video games. It's like we were the masturbators club or something. Here, oh, Barbara.
Yeah, I used to get bullied for being kind of small and quiet, and now I'm like a screeching asshole. So.
No, yeah, I didn't fit in the town I grew up in, which is why I hope it burns. But obviously, you can tell I've adapted well. It's gotten, like Burnie said, it was a lot different being into nerdy stuff when I was a kid, like liking Dungeons and Dragons and liking video games, and I got made fun of mercilessly for that stuff. But now it's my job, motherfuckers. So,
yeah, it's the Rooster Teeth community was actually really helpful, because I remember I was about 14, and all of the friends I used to hang out with got into drugs around that time, trying out the
14?
Trying out the drugs. Well, the friends around that time, like 15 maybe, and I didn't want to get involved, so I ended up just ditching that whole group of friends and not really having anyone to hang out with after school. So I just used to go on redversusblue.com forums, and it was wicked.
You made the correct choice.
Yeah, I think it worked out well.
Yeah, I was also bullied a lot as a kid. I hit 5'9" by the age of 12, so there was a bunch of girls in the grade above me who would call me Tree, because that's really offensive, clever. And it was like the typical bully situation where like all these people would be whispering and pointing at you and laughing at you, and I'd be like sitting there all tall and gangly, like crying in the corner. But then, yeah, I would totally use Red versus Blue and Rooster Teeth as like a way to escape.
You should have told him to leave you alone.
Is that where your puns came from?
All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. We're at time. We got to go.
I was just told we have 10 minutes.
No, they cut me off. They said we're done.
Liar.
Why did you give me this?
We're done.
You have to be the bearer of bad news and tell us that we're out of time.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. Hope you had a good RTX.
Thanks a bunch.
I hope you had a great one.
Love you.